welcome to a special Patreon-powered episode 132 of We the GamerCast. This publishes on iTunes, Google Play, and mother-loving YouTube every Monday. Thank you for subscribing and rating us on iTunes and giving a thumbs up on the video. And thank you to everybody for coming this weekend. It was an amazing weekend over at youtube.com/WeTheNerdy. We did a charity stream on Saturday. That's where this episode took place. It was live with Blessing. We'll get to him in just a second. And it's late. That's why I'm being so quiet. But maybe not even quiet enough. I don't know. I won't know unless I get either there's no yelling. I'll know later. I will know, that's for sure. But I don't know right now. It's hard to tell what permeates up to the baby's room. There's a white noise machine, but guys, I'm getting way ahead of myself. If you're new, here's the deal. Every week I have sweet hangs with a stranger from the internet. And if you want to be on the show, it's easy. Tweet at me at Sean Capri, Sean like Connor, Capri like the pants. All of this is possible. The video version and the people coming back like Blessing, our returning guests. It's all possible thanks to our hitting our milestones at patreon.com/makeusbetter. And all of our patrons and our executive producers, like our platinum level executive producer, Mr. Corey Hicks. Words cannot describe how grateful I am for you. And all of our gentlemen executive producers, Nick Milicia from Next Level Games, Joel Brooks, James Johnson, Dr. Two, Jesse Armstrong, Glauco, Shaffer, David Ray, Mike Drummie, Aaron Doherty, Martini Jean, and Mr. Moody. Thank you guys for being with us here in February. It's a tough month. It's a tough word to say. Tough month for all of us, but I think we are pulling together. A lot of great stuff happening this weekend. Charity stream, 12 till 8 Eastern on Saturday. We did our first ever live episode of If We Ran Nintendo in the new format today. So we're bringing it back, guys. And moments before, the reason I'm doing this so late, in case any of you aren't following me on Twitter, you should, and you'll know why I'm being so quiet. My computer was dead up until just a moment ago, and it was thanks to my good friend Ryboflavins. If it wasn't for you, man, I don't know what I would do. I was way off on a totally different track, trying to figure out what was going on, and he's tweeted at me, maybe it's the power supply. And turns out you were right. It was the power supply and the cables that came with it. Something happened. And thanks to your guidance, because I just swapped out the power supplies and it was still having the same problem. So anyway, I don't want to get too much into details, guys, but I am so grateful the computer. I feel like it's actually running better than ever. So I wanted to make sure that I got to record this, get this out to you. Then later, I don't know what's in the camera. I can't even see what I'm recording right now. This room is a disaster. There's cables and boxes and stuff everywhere. There's wrappers because I've just been sort of like snacking, and there's cans of Diet Pepsi everywhere because I've forgotten how many I've had, and if I finish the last one, it's been an absolute nightmare. But I'm back, better than ever. Of course, the computer died moments before we went live for If We Ran Nintendo, so today's episode 90, a bit of a hodgepodge. We'll be back next Monday live. We're probably going to be doing Monday evenings, everybody, so stay tuned for that. And this episode concludes our Black History Month. This is Blessing Adeoye Jr. from OK Beast. We're going to get to him in a second. I want to give a special shout out to Luke Lore for joining me for pretty much the entirety of the charity stream and really carried the conversation, man. I didn't really like have much of a plan in terms of what I was going to talk about or say or do, and we we ended up just playing a little bit of Gears with a few hours left in the stream, and we did up to wave 50 for the first time, Gears of War 4. My God, with Alex Van Aken, Andrew Gonzalez, Luke Lore, Josh Stapleton was in there for a little bit. Neighbor Matt joined us to kick us over to the 50th wave, and of course Luke Lore. Gosh, I'm so glad we got to kick that game up back again. Good times on the Xbox, good times on the Splatoon, and thank you everybody for we raised, by the way, $400 yesterday just by playing games. Thank you so much to everybody who donated again. We're gonna do a whole list just before I get to the ride. Trust me, it'll be just like last year. We're gonna do a rundown of everybody who's contributed, and thank you so much. Bobby won the. He donated $100, so he got 4 entries into it. I promise you guys, everybody said it was rigged. Promise you guys, it was just an Excel random number generator, and he was the one that floated to the top. So trust me, if anybody, I want anybody but Bobby to win. I'm totally kidding. Well, I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? I'll let you guys decide how much I need on that one. I want to congratulate good friends of ours, Jason Lacey and Lucas Rhodes from Flux to Post, they celebrated 200 episodes. And goodness gracious, just knowing all the stuff that's going on these days and how hard it is to stay doing what you're doing for that long. 200 episodes, you kind of think 2 years. No, man, it's only 50 weeks in a year, or 52, depending on what calendar you follow. So congratulations to you guys. I am a proud patron of Flux Depose, and if you guys haven't already checked them out, I encourage you while you're doing chores around the house or outdoor activities like shoveling snow or mowing the lawn if you don't get snow. So I love that show. Congratulations to you guys. Well deserved celebration, and I just really enjoyed. And they definitely know a thing or two about technical difficulties, so we are brothers in that area. Last couple things I'm going to say before we get into it with Blessing. An amazing discussion. Some of you already have heard it. You were there live. Really exciting to do this show live, I got to say. That was a first. First ever for We the GamerCast. I want to start playing The Division. Brock McLaughlin and I were going to start streaming this, probably at mixer.com/Sean Capri or /Brock McLaughlin. It's like Brock McLaughlin. And we're gonna play The Division. And I don't know why, but something about that game is calling me. Like that Moana song. Anyway, let's get right into it. My guest this week is Blessing Adeoye Jr. I raced through that name because it's a little tough. Blessing is one of the most charismatic. I talked to him a little bit. I can't remember where I started this conversation in, but I've always been taken by his cadence and his standard and level of quality that him and his team go through and uphold at OK Beast. And this episode is really cool. Even if you don't know anything about OK Beast, this is fun to just compare your friends with to rank them. First of all, we're gonna get into ranking his team. He picks his favorite kids in this. And comparing them to video games. This is such a weird, I don't even know where this came from. I hope you guys enjoy. Be sure to follow him at BlessingJR, at OKBeast, and visit okbeast.com. They've got shirts and all that other stuff. Here he is, Blessing Adeoye Jr. That was loud, I forgot for a second. Okay, here's the chat.
I've been really excited about this stream. I was up all night testing everything, making sure everything worked and all that kind of good stuff. So now the fact that it's not really working is, I'm fine with it. I'm perfectly okay. And guess what?
Yeah.
I think we got you guys over to maybe 800 subs. Did we get you to 800? 799, maybe. Man. We are so close.
We're close. One sub away.
Can I talk to you about your website and your YouTube channel?
Sure.
Because, dude, it's unstoppable. I'm so freaking proud of you guys and like the quality and your standard for quality. Like, it's nothing like this. It's not like you've got my dedication to Black History Month is not for me to have a black screen instead of me. That's
Thank
not
you,
what
man.
I'm going for. Your level of quality is amazing, man. Talk to me about the site.
We have the luxury of being like, well, we know we're not great streamers, and so we just don't stream. Like, it's not that like what we're doing is great. It's just that like we stay away from all the things that we're not able to pull off until we're able to pull it off. We actually started trying to get into streaming, and it's been a little bit of a struggle because we've been trying to figure out schedules and whether or not we should use Twitch or YouTube and different people's setups, because like some of us have like OBS and capture equipment. Some of us can only like stream through our console natively, and so we've been trying to figure that out. And so yeah, we've been having our share of struggles. It's just that we like to keep it secret so that nobody else can see.
Right.
But yeah, okbeast.com, for those who don't know, is a website essentially like any other website. Like, think of your IGNs, your Kotakus, your Waypoints. We kind of try and do a similar thing, except I think for our three facets currently, which are written articles, podcasts, and videos, I think we separate those in a way to where we can focus on each and have a kind of a singular kind of vision for each of those facets. And so like videos, for example, our big focus for videos is video essays, and video essays are essentially exactly what they sound like, essays in video form. And so we tried to do those, hit those weekly, do them every Friday, and
you don't
those
just try, man. You guys do it. You guys,
oh, yeah.
You missed a week, man. Like you definitely hit it. I haven't noticed you miss a week.
I think there was as far as I can remember, there was like 1 week we missed, and the next week we did 2 because we felt bad about it. And so we've been hitting pretty consistently since we started, and that was like in August when we started doing them every week. And that's been a totally very satisfying thing because like those are my favorite thing that we do on okbeast.com, because I think that's where the most work goes into. That's where we see the most discovery as far as people like searching on YouTube and stuff. And I feel like that's the thing at least I enjoy making the most, because there's such a singular creative focus when it comes to those, because it's a combination of writing, performance as far as voiceover, editing, video editing, written edits, all that stuff. Like it's such a combination of different skills that at the end of it, when you finally finish a video, it's this gratifying thing of like, oh man, I just did this. And so yeah, that's something that we do that I feel like is awesome. You can for sure check those out at okbeast.com or youtube.com/okbeast. And then yeah, we have articles, we do a lot of reviews, we do a lot of opinion pieces, all of which are on okbeast.com. And yeah, we also do podcasts, and we have, I want to say 3 or 4, maybe 4 podcasts that we do regularly, which are the OK Beast podcast, which is me and my friend Ian. We do like weekly gaming topics, talk about what we've been up to, all that stuff. Pixel Pulse Radio, which is a similar thing. It has more of a focus on gaming news. We have A Plus Anime, which is our anime show where Ian and Nato, they discuss a different anime each week.
Dude, people need to, and you need to, okay, we need to slow down a little bit here. And I feel like I'm doing a decent job of multitasking, even though I can kind of let you take it away. Honestly, I feel like the best thing about you is I could just like sit back, drink my coffee, and like, Blessing, you could fill an hour by yourself, dude.
Oh yeah.
Like you got the gift of gab like I don't think I've ever seen before. OK Beast is something that I honestly don't even remember how I came across it, but I told you this the first time you were on the show. It captured my imagination from the second I started listening to it, and that is so rare for me, and I don't know if anybody listening is the same. Like, you kind of have to give podcasts like a little bit of a chance, and you go like, who are these people?
Yeah.
And like, who the hell do they think they are with these opinions and these hot takes, and they think they're funny, but like your cadence is the thing that really kind of caught me at the very beginning, and I've come to learn your well-roundedness approach to video games and culture. Like, it's not just something that you say, it's truly part of what you bring to the podcast. And OK Beast was just like, holy crap, these two guys are on like opposite ends of the world. Ian is like a totally other like interesting character that you can just like, he should have like they talk about on Kind of Funny having like the documentary going on. Like Ian should have a camera crew following him around,
for sure.
dude, because you guys have this banter that is really special. Like it's in the realm of some of the best duos in podcasting, and I really commend you guys on that. And that
means a lot.
It speaks to the standard that you guys have at OK Beast. You're just like, you don't just put anything up. And I think that's really cool. But still, you are able to push out a ton of content.
Yeah.
So like, how do you manage to get like hit that balance? Because like you guys just must be working on it all the time.
Yeah, it's like I kind of treat it like it's a second full-time job, which is like a good and a bad thing, because I can very much
it's probably perfectly healthy.
Yeah, like I can very much get sick of it, because it's I don't get paid for doing it like at all. Like in fact I lose money doing OK Beast. But it's something that I enjoy doing so much, and I see the benefits of it from the perspective of experience and the perspective of seeing like growing a community, growing an audience, and having that kind of gratification. I feel like it's very awesome. And yeah, it's a thing of like,
it's incredible, man.
I wouldn't be able to do it if I wasn't doing it with Alex Van Aken and Ian and Brandon for sure, and Moises. Like, our team of people is very, we all know what we're good at, and we're all able to come together and kind of, sounds wrong, but fill each other's holes in a way. And like because you see like Brandon, right, he not only does he do Pixel Pulse Radio, but he's also like the genius behind keeping the website itself together on a technical level, right? And the website wouldn't look as good or run as good, and we wouldn't be able to pull off the things we do if it wasn't for Brandon. Like, Brandon is like the centerpiece. Like, he's kind of like Captain America in that scene in Civil War where he's like holding a copter in one hand and holding like the hand. That's how Brandon's keeping the website together.
I love how iconic that scene is, by the way, just because like every I mean, maybe every dude, but I was looking at that guy. I'm like, I gotta hit the gym, man. I was looking at that scene like, oh man, that guy put in the work. Holy crap.
Yeah, man. Like that was me after watching Black Panther and seeing Killmonger, the villain. Like there's a scene where he takes off his shirt, and I was like, man, I gotta go to the gym. I gotta work out, man. All those Marvel people,
right?
Yeah, like they know what they're doing with casting. But yeah, like
workout.
Alex.
Okay, yeah. Let's talk about Alex a little bit. I know he's in the chat. Alex, did I say this already or just think it? Alex gave a gift of $25. He has entered into the draw for a Nintendo Switch Pro Controller. You can see this.
What?
It's a Splatoon Pro Controller. $25 gets you in, man. Thank you so much. So we're raising money. Blessing. You being awesome. Here, you just helped somebody with cancer.
Dude, that's awesome. Is it bad that I didn't even realize what the stream was for?
No, because I didn't tell you, I don't think, at the same time that we originally lined it up. I was kind of like, okay, these are both happening at the same time. That'll be cool. I'm sure everything will work perfectly. The camera will probably work, and I won't have to come up with something midstream. But, dude, that's what's happening. This is the first ever time we've done this live.
Legit, I just saw
Rocket League before, and we switched over.
I saw Sean Capri in my phone, in my Twitter messages, and like I didn't even see your message. All I knew was like, okay, whatever he says is gonna be yes, because I love Sean Capri.
Stop.
I was like, I don't even need to know what condition, what the case is, whatever it is, just yes.
Dude, that's way too nice of you. I think I've almost got a solution here in case we could possibly have my video showing up, but it's probably in reality not gonna work, but that's okay.
So. Is it just my video showing up right now?
Yeah, it's just you, but that's okay.
Okay.
My second try didn't work, but that's totally fine. We're gonna keep going on. I wanted to ask you a question about your staff at OK Beast because you guys have such an eclectic group and some of the smartest, like the concentration of intelligence is incredible, and your relationship with Chase Williams I think is fascinating as well. That I want to get into. I want you to go ahead and rank the staff at OK Beast from best to worst.
Okay, well, Moises is automatically worse, just by default. That's the easiest thing for me. No, I love Moises. I love Moises. Me and Moises have like this kind of like adversarial. It's weird because Moises, when I talk to him on video or when I talk to him in real life at like KFL or any event, and I see him and I have like spoken conversations with him, he's my favorite person in the world, and I feel like me and him could be like best friends ever. But then I see him on Twitter and in my DMs, and he's like my moral enemy because there's something about social media, Moises, that just like gets under my skin in such a weird way, and he knows it and he takes advantage of it. Like I blocked him on Facebook, jokingly and seriously because of his antics on social media. But yeah, I'm in love with my love-hate relationship with Moises, and I think it's hilarious. And so he's last by default.
Okay, for people who don't know though, and Moises is here, that's hilarious. So he just showed up just in time for you to say that.
That's amazing.
Now, okay, this actually makes it even better for me to dive into this. What do you think is at the core of your hatred?
Ooh, okay. I think this is gonna sound kind of endearing in a way. I see Moises as like a younger me. Is like, and it's funny because he's not that young. He's like 20 or something like that.
That's pretty young. I mean, to you because you're 23.
Yeah, I'm 23. But I see
my wife's favorite number, so we have a spiritual connection, I think, or whatever.
Oh man, my favorite number is 4, but I can't say that to a 4-year-old. Like, kind of, I see him as kind of like me, and maybe this is a sign of like self-hatred, but like. The things he like, I'll give this as an example.
Okay.
The other day, I finished I didn't finish, but I finished the first draft of my video essay that went up, which is all about fighting games and how to get good at fighting games, and I did that with Chase Williams. And
dude, I watched it and it is amazing. I was just talking about it before we went live. It is so good. I need to tap your brain a little bit more. We need more. I need a follow up to that because I felt like, okay, what the hell is a control? Or confirm. Confirm was the word. I was like, okay, I don't know what that is. So I felt like I walked into a 300 level course and I needed a 100 level course a little bit.
Yeah, that's one of the things that like time constraints kind of screwed us a little bit, because I was me and we usually don't work with other people in our video essays, and so like Chase Williams came in, I was like, okay, well Chase knows about fighting games, he's gonna be able to come through and rock this, right? And then like I had all these, like he was talking about like confirms and like all these different things. I was like, okay, I wanted to dive deeper and be like, okay, what's a confirm? What's this? What's that? Those things where I was like, well, we have like a week left to get this done, and we haven't recorded yet, and I need time to do the recording and the video editing portion. And so like we just did dive deeper into that script. But yeah, like I figured like some of the stuff like I forget side switches and like overheads. Like I tried to do my best.
But you showed what those were. I think that was a really cool thing that I was like, how long did it take you guys to find like that move? The line up? Like that's the level of detail that I love in your guys' video essays. It's not even just like the words themselves are super smart, and the amount of research and time that you guys put into that is like, to me, I just don't understand it. But you do, and I have a huge appreciation for it, which is why I don't know if there's new people in the chat. If you guys, you can step over to youtube.com/okbeast. Get these guys up to 800. Oh, it's almost there. We were so close, dude. Yeah. It's going to happen today.
Oh, we're one away?
Yeah, we are one away, 799.
Just one of you guys. I mean, or multiple of you guys. I don't care if it's all of you guys, but at least one of you guys.
I think a bunch of them already have. We've been working. I mean, Moises, I think, is just refusing to subscribe. Like, it would be great if he went over and he was the 800th one, but your hate is too strong.
So yeah, we're talking about Moises, right? And like I had my first draft of the video go up like a day before the actual video went up. And on that first draft, right, the video at the end, like the outro section where I'm on screen and I'm talking and giving like the outro. The original version, my audio was muffled because I was trying to record through my headphone or my earbud microphone, which sounded muffled in my phone. And so I used that version originally. And Moises, I sent it to the guys to watch it and stuff and check out. And Moises was immediately like, "Why is your audio muffled at the end?" And I was like, "Well, Moises, do you want me to connect my podcast mic to my phone? Like, what do you want me to do? Like, what do you want me to figure out how to? Do you want to buy me a better camera so that'll have better audio?" And I kind of like had this like reply to Moises. I was like, "What do you know about video editing?" And then Alex was like, "Well, you could just do this." And I was like, "Well, yeah, Alex." Why not? Alex knows what he's talking about, and so it's like it's not that I hate Moises. It's just that like it's just that like there's a way Moises phrases things and talks about things where I'm like, like he can be right about something, and I'll still be like, yeah, sure.
We all have people like that in our lives, I think, and it's just like I've been doing a lot of reflection on that too. I won't even say who it is, but there's definitely people around that you're kind of like. They could give you a compliment, and you're like, you know what, you're an asshole. You know what, I don't know. Like it just kind of like triggers you.
It's not even like that far with Moises. It's just like a thing with Moises where like for some reason I don't know if it's the way he says stuff. I don't know if it's. I mean, he trolls quite a bit. Like he did this thing where I asked the guys before I played Wolfenstein 2, or I asked him actually specifically. I was like, hey, which storyline? Because in Wolfenstein 2 there are two different storylines. That you can choose from the beginning. And I was like, okay, which storyline is the one that involved Jimi Hendrix? And Moises knowingly gave me the wrong storyline just because he liked the other storyline more. He was like, oh, it's this one, even though it wasn't that one, just so I was this one. And I finished, and I was like, they didn't say anything about Jimi Hendrix. Like, where did I miss that? And he was like, oh no, it was the other one. I just told you the wrong one. And I was like, wait, what? And that was, I think I blocked him after that.
Oh my god!
But then I had to unblock him because we had to have some line of communication. But yeah, it's just things like that where Moises says stuff, or Moises does or says stuff, and I'm like, it grinds my gears. But I still love him though. It's not like
okay,
that
was going to be my follow-up. I was going to say like you know you still have him on the team, like you still you still work together. Can we move on to who's next then? So we're ranking, by the way. This is it may end up being the entire show. We are ranking the staff of OK Beast. Yourself included, by the way. Like you should put yourself.
Oh, myself included?
I didn't say that at the start, but you know, I'm kind of I was gonna bait you at the end and just say that leaves you at the top. But we won't do that. Well, maybe if you have an objective point of view on that, or if it's totally subjective. Who's after Moises?
So next up after this, man, this is difficult.
I like that
you're
NATO
kind of counts.
I like that you're doing this because
I'm 100%
most people will be like, I can't choose my favorite kid, and you're like, no, Moises is last. Like,
oh yeah, no, 100%. If I had children, I would choose my favorite children, and I'd be like, okay,
I might too, man. Right,
Bobby, you're number one. Lincoln, that's awesome. Is Lincoln the youngest one?
He's the only
baby.
one.
Oh, he's the only. Oh well, I mean that's easy
right now, yeah. But I think I don't know, man. He's gonna really have to mess up to for the other baby to become the favorite. I mean, maybe
That's
they're
awesome.
the
Wait,
baby.
Are you having another baby?
Not
yet?
anytime soon.
Not that you know.
There's
Okay.
nothing in the oven. The oven is empty.
Gotcha. Is Lincoln named after Link or anything like
Yep.
that? Or is
Big time.
Nice.
Yeah, man. We were watching Prison Break actually way back in the day, Chelsea and I, and we realized that Lincoln Burrows is the brother. Like, there's Michael Schofield. He's the one who went in to save the day, but Lincoln Burrows went in, and they kept calling him Link, and we're like, that's brilliant. So we were pretty locked in on that for a little while. Logan was up there for a little bit, and also we were throwing around a bunch of names from Lost, like Jack and Miles and Charlie. Miles was up there, but then we realized we can't have names. Moises, this is another slam on Moises. I'm sorry, man. Names that end in S got vetoed in the end because nobody knows what to do with that S at the end when you go to like Miles's house. Or Miles' toy.
That's a fact. I hate the possessive S at the end of S names because I've been taught so many different things.
Exactly.
Like I was taught that like if it's a proper noun and if it's possessive, then you do the S apostrophe another S, and then like it's just a whole thing. I don't know if it has to do with different writing styles or what it is.
Yeah,
but yeah,
what style guide are we got in this house? Like when we're referring to our child, do we got to look at AP or Chicago something or other? I don't even know.
Yeah.
So
it's doing too much.
Yeah, Lincoln is the favorite for now. Sounds
nice.
like NATO. NATO is right
above Moises. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like if we're ranking by looks, it would be NATO, then followed by probably me. I'll put myself up there. Then probably Brandon, because Brandon just looks like I don't know what it is about Brandon, but I feel like Brandon. When I there was a time where I got on voice chat or face chat or whatever it's called with Brandon, and he looked like he was like some other race. Like I feel like if you catch Brandon on a certain day, like he could pull off looking African American almost. Like he has a certain like swagger about him that helps him.
Brandon is a hot dad in the chat, and I think that you're right. And I want to, because I think this is a great sort of like time capsule just for OK Beast, which is awesome. And for anybody else who's unaware, this is kind of like one of my pet peeves. And we're just gonna pull it back up a little bit for a second here. One of my pet peeves is when somebody starts talking about a game and they don't tell you like what is that game, like what kind of game is it. They just kind of like dive right in. Who is NATO? Let's like give me like if you were to describe a NATO as a game, and like what are his mechanics and what like what style is NATO as a person?
NATO is Knack 2, where maybe this time he'll be good, but it never turns out that he's actually that great. No, NATO is I see him almost as like if you watch Kind of Funny, they have on Kind of Funny Games Daily, one of their new shows, a dude named Gary Whitta who comes through on Wednesdays and joins them. That's kind of like what NATO is to us, where like he's not with us like he's only on A+ Anime as like a co-host. So he's kind of like that almost. It's almost like he's contracted, except none of us get paid, and so we can't really say that anybody's contracted. But like he's the dude that comes around, and he's enough of the family that we kind of consider him family. But at the same time, he's like he has his hands in different dishes. Like he's also in part of Four Yanks One Aussie. He's also I think he does other stuff, but I'm actually not sure. But yeah, NATO is the dude that he's around enough for us to call him fam. And yeah, he's the co-host of A+ Anime, and so he's an anime weeb. But I put him right above Moises at number, I think that's number 5. Yeah, like number 5. Because he has such bad opinions about video games. And yeah, I think that's the thing that he knows. And so yeah, I just gotta have a number 5 for that.
Okay. NATO, did you know that he was a stripper before?
I learned this recently when I was on one of the Four Yanks One Aussie podcasts.
He is something else. For everybody in the chat, you can see I shut off my camera so Blessing can't see me right now, but I'm gonna be saying goodbye to I just called him my favorite son, Chelsea. He is my favorite child.
And I'm your favorite wife.
And Chelsea is my favorite of all my wives. So
dude, that must
and also Joel Brooks just gave a donation for $30. I can't believe, Chelsea, this is working. I've raised a lot of money right now.
Idiots.
This is no, it's going to cancer. It's really nice.
Oh yeah, good stuff.
Look at Lincoln has been. I was watching a video. Sorry, Blessing. Just a quick second before we say goodbye to the entire family. I was watching an intro that I did a little while ago, and like Lincoln, it was like 2 months ago. Hey, buddy. And it was like 2 months ago, and he was just kind of like staring at me as I'm yelling "Hey" at the intro, and it's so freaking cute. And I love that this is a thing that exists on the internet. And maybe this is a topic that we just get. This is how the show works. Blessing. Goodbye, Lincoln. Have a nice trip to Red Deer. I love you very much. Bye, wifey.
Bye.
I love you very much
You were
too.
loved.
Gross. Okay, we're back.
This sounds disgusting.
We're back. Bye. Huh?
Can I leave the door open?
Well, they kind of click around, so maybe not.
Do you want me to lock them up or?
Sure, for now. We're back. What the hell was I just saying? It's a, I don't even know. Who's Brandon?
Brandon is he's part of Pixel Pulse Radio. He's the co-host there. Pixel Pulse Radio is a podcast on Okie Beast and is the #1 stepfather stepson video game podcast. And Brandon is the stepfather. So he does that, and he's also the technical mastermind behind the ones and zeros on OkieBeast.com.
The beeps and the boops and the flops and the terras.
Yeah.
Talk to me about his beard. What do you think of his beard? Is that what kind of keeps him this high in the ranking, or is it his sage wisdom?
Well, I mean, I haven't given his ranking yet.
Well, you haven't named him yet. I mean, he's not last or second last, so.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I'm conflicted.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we established number 6 is Moises, number 5 is NATO.
You said 6,
so we're at
but
number
you meant
4.
dead last, right? You meant dead last?
Dead last,
right.
Yes, dead last.
Of course.
So that means we have 4 left between me, Ian, Alex, and Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want... So I'm conflicted for that, because I feel like...
It's awesome.
I think I know who number 1... man... No, this is hard. Okay, no, I think I might have to give Brandon number 4. I wanted to give Brandon higher.
Of the year. This is better than your game of the year chat.
This is more conflicting because for game of the year, I knew the answer to all those categories, right? Nier had the best soundtrack. I still know Nier has the best narrative.
Hey,
even
it's
though
right here. You can't see it, but it's right here. I might be playing this later. I love this game. I also love. This is also why you hate Moises too, because he abandoned you on that game.
Dude, Moises played Nier like a. He completed Nier, and now he agrees that like I think now it was his number 1 game from last year.
I was the same, man. I came to it way too late, and I don't know. You know what I realized? It was actually, speaking of my pet peeve. I feel like everybody was just talking about it, but I didn't really know that I had a real good understanding of what that game was. And to me, like, if you had an award for like maybe best first hour of a game, that's in the running for sure, because it's just like, what is this? Like, all of a sudden you're side scrolling and it's top down, and that intro to it, I don't know if you remember, is incredible. I love Nier.
It is. The intro is like the coolest part, and like I have to remember it because I've played the game like multiple times now, because the game has this multiple playthrough thing. Nier is just so awesome because it has like it tells its story in such an interesting way, and in a way that only video games can, with its multiple playthroughs. And like it's a complaint for some people that to get the full scope of the game you have to play through it multiple times. But to me, that's like the appeal of it, is that like it's doing something so interesting that you can't. You're not gonna have a movie that's like, okay, watch this 2-hour movie. Okay, here's the alternate version. Watch it again to get the full scope of the story. Okay, here's this third version of the movie that's very weird.
I feel like that would only happen in anime. Like that's a very Japanese thing already, I guess.
It's a very Japanese thing. But yeah, it being a video game and it having qualities that only video games have, it can pull that kind of thing off and tell such interesting, cool, multi-layered story with that. But yeah, if Moises had played that game like a couple months earlier, here it might be our number 2 or number 1 game of the year. Probably not number 1 because we love it so much, but it could have been like our number 2 game. But who knows? What's done is done.
I'm going to title this. We only put a title on the episodes on YouTube, but the title of this is going to be Moises is the worst.
Moises is the worst.
Are you okay with that?
I'm 100% okay with that. In fact, I encourage it.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to say that means I got to put it in capitals, I think.
But yeah, I think I'm going to have to put Brandon at number 4.
Okay.
Only by like default.
Yeah, at this point we're sort of like the differences are narrow. At this
point it's a fight. Like at this point I'm like, because I couldn't imagine if Brandon wasn't part of OKBeast, the OKBeast website would still look the way it did about a year ago, where it was just like a WordPress template.
It does look pretty sweet, man.
Yeah, now it looks sweet. And so yeah, that's pretty much Brandon. Brandon is the mastermind behind the things that like. This is gonna sound bad, but I could probably do an anime show, right? I could replace Ian on A+ Anime.
Oh, snap!
I probably couldn't actually. I don't know enough about anime. I could take over Alex's stepson responsibilities on Pixel Pulse Radio. The person who I couldn't replace on OKBeast.com is Brandon, and so.
Oh, that's so nice of you to say. I love
Yeah,
Brandon.
well, I mean that's the truth.
So that gets him third last. Okay, I see how it is.
Yeah, exactly. And
who is he in a video game? If he's a video game, like.
Ooh, that's a good question. He's like this is weird because I was just playing Kingdom Hearts. Because me and Ian decided to do a playthrough of all the Kingdom Hearts games, and there's a character named Sid who is also in all the Final Fantasies.
Yep.
I believe.
Yep.
And maybe I had to quit Brandon to Sid because he's always there when you need him, and he's like he's the thing that holds us together. That holds.
Dude, look at this! I'm worried that you're dripping water all over your laptop. By the way.
Yeah, but.
Is it a laptop that you're on?
Yeah, it's a laptop.
How is your laptop?
It's awesome. I just got it from a couple months ago. It's a gaming laptop that I bought from the friends at Fit the Gamer, and so yeah, it's awesome. It's just like has red.
Yeah, you know it's good when it's got like all of the lights on it. I feel like you just did like a workout, and we're just kind of like we got to keep hydrated, man. Okay,
yeah.
who do we have now? We're into the top 3. This is getting crazy here.
Oh. So, I'll probably put me at number 3.
Okay.
No. Yeah, I'll put me at number 3.
Okay, and I think people know who you are generally in terms of like what you do with OKBeast, and like you're the visionary. What are you as a video game personified?
As a video game.
Are you Dreams?
Are we talking about my position, or are we talking about me as a person? My own personality.
You as a person.
That's a good question. I don't know if I'd say dreams. Maybe dreams, because I am very abstract in my thinking, and it's very hard to get a read on me.
Yeah, are you a game? What are you? What?
I don't know what I am. I'm trying to think. I'm looking at my shelf right now, which has all the games I own on them. Shadow of the Colossus keeps coming to mind, but maybe that's just because it's one of my favorite games. But maybe also, okay, this I can frame it like this.
Moises says you're a Sega Genesis.
Boy, because most people don't even know he exists.
Oh man, that's funny.
I love you, Moises.
That's too good.
No, Shadow Colossus, because I try to be deeper than I really am, and I'm able to.
I don't know about that, but I'll take it. I'll take that as a good. So you are number 3.
I'm number 3.
Oh, this is getting good now, man. Because Alex is in the chat. I think he was at least. Ian's sleeping in Japan time, probably.
Yeah, Ian's out.
Which is fair. He's allowed to do that. So yeah, man. Now it's down to it. Because as soon as you name the next, now actually skip 2 and go right to number 1.
Number 1.
Go right to number, because now we know who the runner-up is. It's sort of like a beauty contest or pageant.
Putting Alex Van Aken, and Ian would have got number 1, but Ian does this thing where every time we have a group meeting, because we'll have meetings every now and then. We've had every meeting Ian finds some way to call me an asshole, and so I've been trying to find a way to pay Ian back, and I feel like the way of doing that is by relegating him to number 2 instead of number 1.
That's pretty good.
And so
man. Hit him in the heart. Don't
hit
have
you
like
where
any,
it hurts.
Totally. Yeah, in the emotional feelings and take him down a notch for sure.
Yeah.
Alex is on another level for sure. And so for people who don't know, who is Alex Van Aken's been on the show a couple times, at least once. Who's Alex Van Aken, and what is his video game analogy?
So Alex is well, first of all, for his video game personality, I would equate him to World of Warcraft, essentially, because he's very he likes being, well, at least for video games, at least he likes being social. He likes the interactivity. And yeah, that's really all I can say as far as that.
And he just keeps going, man. Like the guy has been doing stuff forever. I don't know if that.
Yeah.
It's the MOBA ass. Everybody wants to play him. Tens of millions of people play him.
a day.
People
yeah.
get married when they meet when they are with him.
Facts.
He could be a minister of some sort, like somebody who would have the ability to marry people. There's a word for that.
Oh yeah.
Like justice. Damn it, Lucas Lawyer's making fun of me right now. Anyway, I think Alex should just marry people.
I think he could do that.
Mm-hmm.
I can see if I ever got married, I could see Alex marrying me.
Yeah,
Marrying
I can see
me and my
Alex
wife.
marrying you too.
Not me marrying Alex.
I think first step is naming him number 1 for him to marry you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good move.
Yeah, but the reason why. So if for those who aren't familiar with Alex is essentially he's the managing editor of OK Beast. And the reason why I put him at number 1, aside from I have other reasons for Ian being number 2, but the reason why I put Alex number 1 is because like I feel like he helps me set a bar for what I'm trying to do with my own content.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I'll watch Alex's videos and be like, okay, I got to beat this. Like I got to get better than this because Alex is so good at making his own videos. And Alex, I feel like me and him have such a good rapport as far as our vision for a lot of things, and as far as we're on a same wavelength a lot of the time when it comes to what we're doing, and he's able to provide a lot of stuff that I'm not, as far as like graphics and as far as especially like motion graphics and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Good job of coming through, and he's able to do a lot of stuff that I prided myself on doing before they came along. Like I was for me, like I could do like video intros, and I could put together a podcast and make stuff happen. And Alex is another dude that can make stuff happen, and having another person on the team that can make stuff happen takes a lot of weight off my shoulders.
No kidding.
So well, yeah. And so like he's very reliable as far as like helping make things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Certain level. And so yeah, that's why he's number 1. Ian is also awesome. Ian, if he was a video game, Persona is the one I can think of, just because he's very Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he's white, but he's like he lives in Japan, he breathes Japanese culture, all that stuff. And yeah, Ian, he's number 2 because like he was the first one to join the site after me. He was I know for a fact like OKBeast wouldn't. This is just like everybody else, and so like I guess this is necessarily new with him. But he's the first person who I can say like, okay, yeah, OKBeast wouldn't be what it is without him, because he helped establish what OKBeast was. He helped find a voice, and he helped be the thing about Ian that is super special is that he is a personality on his own. Like as far as all of us in our personalities, I feel like Ian has the biggest personality in terms of being approachable and magnetic. Like I feel like people are magnetized for him because he's very friendly, he's very approachable, he's very open, and he's very like he asks a lot of questions that people aren't really even thinking about asking, and he's able to bring up ideas that people are never really thinking about. And yeah, he's awesome in that sort of way. The real reason I said he's number 2 because he calls me an asshole all the time. But no, the real reason he's I'm not putting him number 1 is because he's bad with schedules.
Oh no.
He is when it comes to being on time, and he's actually gotten a lot better with this over time. Like it used to be an issue, like our first year of doing podcasts. But now he's a lot better with it. But when it comes to like scheduling, and a lot of this is because he lives in Japan, and so like time zones are off and all that stuff. And so like if you're like,
yeah, that's gotta be difficult.
If we're like, let's meet Wednesday at 5, right? Yeah. It's like, are we talking about my Wednesday or your Thursday? Are we talking about your Wednesday and my Tuesday? Or are we talking about 5 my time, 5 your time? Like, and it gets messed up a lot with that. But that being said, everybody at OKBeast is awesome. And
no doubt,
even
man.
even Moises.
Even if you're dead last, you're still amazing. Yeah. I was actually thinking about the witness for Ian, actually. Just because it's like, where does this intelligence come from? And this, like, it's almost like a different... I was going to say a different language, but that means that he's not understood. But he is able to communicate ideas that you've never really thought of because his brain is just on another level. And I was like... It's like, you guys all really... The thing about OK Beast, I think I've said this to you before, is that you guys... To me, I'm like, man, why wasn't I doing something like that at that age? Because there's a good decade between us. And I'm like, I was not... Like, you guys are all very... In addition to your intelligence, you're very creative and mature in it as well. Like, if I was creative, but I was immature. My freaking like when I was your age, I was firing up my PlayStation 3 and I made myself awesome schlong because I'm an idiot and I can't change that. And like that kind of gives you a sense of, if YouTube was around when I was 10 years ago and it was a big thing, like it was around, but I didn't have the setup or anything like that, it was a lot harder to get into. I would have done something really stupid with that opportunity. And I'm just like I'm really amazed that you guys have been able to take the creative bones in you. That sounds dirty. And just do something really awesome, dude. It's been incredible to watch. And one of my favorite things that you guys do, I was saying this just before we went live, was your limited run podcast.
Oh yeah.
You did the Mario Odyssey one. You've had now Chase Williams guest on the greatest game.
Yep.
And
we did that. Breath of the Wild is one of my favorite ones we did, mainly because of the name.
This is so perfect, man. Are
Right?
you legitimately doing a Kingdom Hearts one? Is this something that is happening, or are you toying around with the idea, or what's happening with the Kingdom Hearts podcast?
It's something that we're toying around with because like it's very spontaneous, because usually when we're working on ideas such as a limited run podcast, there's usually a lot more planning involved, and there's a lot more thought put into them before we even announce them, right? We've already like the Mario Odyssey podcast, I think we started thinking about in like probably July or something like that.
Top 40 podcast, by the way.
Yeah, top 40.
It's amazing.
And the Kingdom Hearts one is literally you'll hear the idea come to fruition on the next OKB's podcast, because we're literally like doing the podcast and we're like, should we do a Kingdom Hearts podcast? I mean, like, man, that would be awesome, right? And then like it's something that's spurred out of excitement, and so it might not happen. It might happen. I don't have any promises right now, but I'm just throwing the idea out there, because the idea is something that attracts me, mainly because I want to play Kingdom Hearts and I need a reason to play Kingdom Hearts. And a reason would be a podcast. I feel like that's the thing that could get me into the series.
When do you think that would it be, like, looking back? I haven't heard it yet. Is this something that looks back on the series as a lead up to? Like, do you need a launch date for the game in order for this to work, or can you just go ahead and fire it out anytime? Or is it supposed to be dedicated on Kingdom Hearts 3?
We haven't even put that much thought into it. Like, it's one of those things where what we want it to be, or what I want it to be, and me and Ian were even like ping-ponging ideas even up until this morning in our chat. And because what we want it to be is for it to look back on essentially the games that are in the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5 HD remix on PS4.
Good God, those names.
Yeah, it's because I've only played Kingdom Hearts 1 and I haven't played the other ones. I don't know how much Ian has played, but Kingdom Hearts is so deep and so convoluted and complicated in its story and all that stuff that it could be a fascinating thing to okay, let's start from 1. Let's do a podcast on Kingdom Hearts 1. Okay, this month we'll do this one, or if we do it weekly, or however we would decide to do it. But yeah, it would be more of a thing of leading up to Kingdom Hearts 3. We could just find this outlet to kind of just to talk about the series as a whole. What it would look like and what the format would be and how often we do it, I had no idea. But it's something that I think both of us would love to do. And I think what it comes down to for real is time, the time it takes for us to do a podcast and play the games. And I think that probably format. I think that those would be the two things.
Right, because it's not like you have to do really too much additional race. You guys just know those games so inside and out, which actually kind of surprises me about you a little bit. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's just because Ian lives in Japan that it doesn't really surprise me that he would be part of this. But I guess maybe it's just my totally not understanding Kingdom Hearts at all. I don't understand Kingdom Hearts either. Okay, so that was gonna be my question. Was is there enjoyment to be had if you don't know what the hell is going on? And is there, how much of the Disney factor comes into it? Because I think I admit I know that I played the worst one, or at least I've been told the 3DS one is the one that I played for an hour and a half, and I was just like,
Dream Drop Distance.
It's no good. I think it was just called Kingdom Hearts 3D, or I can't remember.
Oh yeah, that's Dream. That was it was the acronym. The full name is Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, which is 3D essentially.
Yeah, that's
it's Kingdom Hearts.
So, is there for people who love Disney, which I do, is there fun to be had with this thing? I don't love Japanese role playing games, but I've liked a number of them, but it's not like a thing where I go, oh, JRPG is out, I'm gonna go buy it and love it. Like,
Yeah.
That's not my connection with it.
The thing is, I'm not even sure because like I've only played the first one.
I need an answer.
And I played it like in like 2009. I played it when I was in high school, maybe like 2010 because I was in anatomy class. And a friend let me borrow the first Kingdom Hearts for a PS2, and I played it and I was like, all right, that was cool. Like I played it at a time where the PS3 was already a thing and like kind of far into its life cycle. And so I was playing it as like an older game. And so far, I think the appeal for me in Kingdom Hearts, having not really played any of the other ones aside from the first one, which is more, the first one is still a little bit interesting. It's a little bit more cerebral in its subject matter, but still like simple compared to the other ones. The appeal for me is more of the combination, like the interaction between Disney and the Final Fantasy type style. Like I'm not big in fact, I'll say this, I don't really like Final Fantasy that much. Like I am not really a fan of Final Fantasy at all. I've tried playing multiple of the games. I tried playing 7 and 13, and I think on one or two other ones, and like I could just never get into Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
And it's weird because Final Fantasy has all the trappings of something that I should be able to get into, because I like anime as a style, and I like the beauty of it, and I like the big swords and the style of all that stuff appeals to me. But then playing the games, I'm just like, I don't know how much I really want to get into this. And I think that's just because gameplay wise they can get kind of grindy and kind of like, okay, you have to. The battle systems never really appealed to me. Like when it comes to turn based, I like games like Pokemon and Earthbound, and like Persona I really like.
Yeah.
But Final Fantasy, for some reason, those battle systems never appealed to me. Kingdom Hearts 1, I like the fact that it's action based. I like the fact that it doesn't seem as unnecessarily convoluted as some of the Final Fantasy games. And then you have that interaction between the anime Final Fantasy styled characters with the Disney world, which has a heavy dose of nostalgia. And then I'm really all about nostalgia. Like I'm absolutely in love with that sort of stuff. And so for a game to bring me back to Lion King, I'm all about it, because Lion King is one of my favorite movies ever.
Ooh, nice.
And yeah, I think Lion King came out the year I was born, which
oh my goodness,
ages me, or not ages me.
No, it ages me.
Yeah, shows how young I am. But yeah, like Lion King, and like the other Disney properties that are showed off in Kingdom Hearts.
Moises said Lion King is overrated. I feel like I might have to lay the band hammer down, like, because there's no way that it's overrated.
See, this is why I say these things about Moises, because Moises says things like that. He says sentences like that, and then he ends up getting
that earned you a dead last spot, dude. I want to go back really quickly, because I know we're going to come into our time, and you have a website and amazing content to go create the rest of today. You kind of were talking just a little bit about the spontaneity of this idea for this Kingdom Hearts podcast, and how it like just sort of like came up out of nowhere, and who knows if it's going to be a thing or not, or if it's actually a good idea. I'm gonna try and ask this as clearly as possible. The best creative ideas and the best creative endeavors, do you think come out of those types of moments, or do you think they take a little bit more nurturing? Because like for me, and I'll give you a chance maybe to think about that and spit out a story, one of my favorite things that I've done in my entire life was I went to the bathroom, which is obviously one of my favorite things that I do. I went to the bathroom, I was hanging out with a friend, not in the bathroom, we separated for a split second, went to the bathroom, and I realized, you know what would be really fun? Like, this is in the moment that I was just a regular number one, wasn't even a long time. It'd be really fun if I invited all my friends over to my parents' houses back when, I guess 18, 19, maybe somewhere around your guys' age too, I guess. So maybe I wouldn't have been completely, well, this gives you a sense of what I would have done if I had YouTube. Invite all my friends over, and we're going to have a drinking competition that is a reality TV show where you have teams up against each other and people are voting each other off of their islands and their teams. And we created the Team Awesome reality TV show, aka Sean's Birthday Bash 2006. And we did that for 3 years. When we did in 2008, we called it the Ocho, and that was like the pinnacle. We had people showed up as countries. We had like Italy, they were dressed as like the Roman Empire, and we had England and America, and they were the melting pot. And we had like 6 kegs in the back of my parents' backyard. We had 60 people and just cameras everywhere filming the whole thing. We put it onto DVD. And this was like one of my favorite things. And it came out of just like this moment of like, we should just do this thing. And then like, that was one of my favorite things that ever happened. So for me, my instinct is to say the best creative endeavors do come out of, where did this idea even come from? This is the best. Yeah. Let's go with it, rather than maybe overcomplicating.
Yeah, I think it's both. I think because I think for OK Beast nowadays, like a lot of our ideas do come from nurturing and pre-planning, and like I very much I love and hate spontaneity. Like this is gonna be the most selfish thing I ever say. I love spontaneity when it comes from me. When it comes from other people, I get nervous about it.
That's a very
I'm like,
fair thing to say.
Yeah, I think that's probably with everybody, right? And that's why I get nervous. I think that's the hardest thing when it came to merging OK Beast with Pixel Pulse Radio and bringing on Alex Van Aken and Brandon and even bringing on Moises, is that the more people that are involved with something, the less spontaneous you can be with stuff, because then you have to worry about how does it line up with other projects and how do other people feel about this, and well, everything has to be cohesive. Like I can't just like change up styles on a video because it has to line up with what Alex is doing, and like the thumbnails have to be somewhat coherent with these other thumbnails, and like the subject matter of this video has to line up with this, and like we don't want OK Beast podcast to cannibalize Pixel's podcast because we have the same topics and all that stuff, and so it's harder to be like, okay, this is what we're doing today, because that's a lot of what, like that's how OK Beast became a thing, right? Is like one day I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start doing a podcast where I interview people, and I'm gonna start a website called OK. Like the name OK Beast, I probably came up with in about 5 minutes.
Yep. And
that was just me being like, I wonder what I can search up on WordPress, and I wonder what's gonna work. Okay, what words do I like? I like the word beast. All right, what can I look up? Okay, what other word do I like? I like when people put okay behind things. And so like, okay, beast, sure, why not?
It sounds like my veterinarian, actually. My dogs go to a vet all the time because there's 3 of them. And so he starts every sentence with okay. And so I love that. So I'm going to think of you every time I see Dr. Lee. He's a
nice. Tell Dr. Lee I said what's up.
He is Master Splinter personified. Like the vet that I go to, he's as tall, and like I picture like the doctor's lab coat that they wear is like Splinter's robe. Oh, if only I got to put up a picture of Dr. Lee at some point. He's amazing. The master. He's senpai. That might be racist. I'm not sure.
Does he have like pet turtles in the dentist's office? That would be awesome.
That would be amazing. I should give him turtles. You're right.
Dude, gift them Christmas, birthday. Definitely,
just like because turtles are they wander in the wild out here in the frozen tundra of Canada. You just got like these amazing turtles. Crap, I had another question for you about that whole thing. It's totally gone. I wanted to, as we close out, you are, I think, the last one. You are the last one, Blessing. The last guest in this month of February this year, Black History Month. I wanted to bring you on and ask you a question because you said something on OK Beast, and I tweeted you as soon as I think I DM'd you just as soon as I heard him. Like, remind me to ask you what you meant when you said, quote, I am the blackest person on the planet.
So a lot of the time, right, people in fact, I've had this happen like recently a lot, actually, with like one person I'm hanging out with right now, is that like I'll have people will tell me I'm not black because of the way I act or because of my interests, and because like, oh, he doesn't use he doesn't say the N-word when he talks casually, right? Or he doesn't talk like this, he doesn't do this.
Yep. Clearly requirements for being black.
Yeah, I don't feel all of those like social requirements that were kind of like created by American culture, I guess. And so like, and it's funny, it's always a funny thing, right? And like, because when I said I'm the blackest person on the planet, I meant that very literally. Of like, if you look at me, I am very dark. Like, I'm not like dark. Like, there are some people that you see that are so black that they're purple, right? I'm not that dark, but I am very much dark skinned, and I'm very much like you can't tell me I'm not black. And also I mean that in a very like literal sense, but also in like a figurative sense, because like I do a lot of black things, right? quote unquote. Like I break dance, I do hip hop dance, I do a lot of that stuff. I listen to almost exclusively rap music. I feel like, now, I don't know if I've said this on a podcast before, and like most people will disagree, and I understand. I mean, it's right to disagree, but I would say, if you were to ask me, I would say that rap music is the truest creative, expressive form of music, right? And that's just me being a that's just me being a hyper fan of the genre.
Why? Explain that. You can't just drop a sentence like that, because I was also going to get into maybe like even like the origins of, like, I don't know if you have a comment on that, of like the origins of black influence on music through blues and jazz and everything else. And then it's sort of like there's an absolutely tremendously, and maybe we'll have to have you back on and talk about this or maybe this is another podcast for you guys to do about culture and stuff. Like the way that black culture influences overall pop and music and everything is like one of the most fascinating things that anybody can really follow.
It's crazy because, like, if you look at the numbers now, like look at streaming numbers on Spotify and other music apps, and you'll see that black music, like hip hop, rap music, is number one right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the Grammys, the nominees for Album of the Year, overall were Kendrick Lamar with his album Damn. You had Bruno Mars with his album. You had Lorde with her album. You had Childish Gambino with Awaken My Love, and you had one other artist, black artist, who I can't think of right now, and I think it was Jay-Z. It was Jay-Z for 444, right? 3 of those are like hip hop artists, and like Bruno Mars, I have no idea what race he is, but I don't. Kind of black, if
Count
I had to. And so like a lot of hip hop and a lot of black dominated music, right now is at the top of its influence, and I gave this. I made a thread on Twitter about this because of Black Panther and the Black Panther album that Kendrick Lamar did with his artists. And it's the fact that Disney and Marvel, the biggest media corporations, I don't know if that's what they're called, but media corporations in the world now, right, reached out to the black, this is gonna sound, the blackest of black artists, right? And we're like, hey, you take, and this is like Kendrick Lamar at the top of his game, right? Uncensored, very expressive Kendrick Lamar, and we're like, hey, we want you to make an album. And they didn't censor that album whatsoever. They weren't like, hey, you guys can't say this, you guys can't talk about robbing people, or like, you guys can't talk about the hood, you guys can't talk about poverty. No, they're like, okay, no, just make an album that reflects the culture, or that reflects this movie in a way. And they went, and like, if you read some of the lyrics on that album, like they're just saying the most obscene stuff.
Oh man, I gotta get this. I don't know why I've been waiting. I gotta have Apple Music. I gotta download this thing.
It's such a great album. And like I think it's a testament to how far rap music and black music has come. And the reason why I say that it's the most expressive, the most purest and most expressive creative form of music is because, like, I feel like rap music is just so diverse in the things that you can say and talk about. Like, I feel like in rap music, you can say the most things, right? Because the nature of rap means that you have all this room to say kind of whatever you want. Like singing, you can only, like, if you look at rap lyrics versus pop song lyrics, right? A lot of pop song lyrics will have like 4 lines or 8 lines, or like there's a lot less there being said, like literally being said,
right?
Because
like the word count on the songs is like a tenth of a rap album, or
yeah, because like rap songs, the nature of them means that you're talking and you're going at a faster pace, and you're actually like you're saying a lot more words, and so there's a lot more space for things to be said. And then the culture behind rap music allows for a lot of things to be said that you wouldn't hear in any other genre of music. Like, you have artists like Lupe Fiasco, who is the smartest music artist I've ever heard. And like he said, the things he says are so he does like these triple, quadruple entendres. He has like such a deeper meaning behind the things he says, and he has such intelligent wordplay. Like, look up the song "Hurt Me Soul." There's a song he has called "Hurt Me Soul," where he's talking about the trials and tribulations of people in poverty, and he's just like, he just keeps going, right? And his rhyme scheme, his rhyme structure is just so on point. And then he's also listing off a bunch of just things that are just messed up about the way people are living and the reason why they can't like get out of that situation. Then you have other artists like the Migos, who are just who I don't listen to the Migos that much because I'm not really a big fan. But as far as subject matter, they're just talking about like turning up, partying, doing whatever, chilled back, laid back. Like it's just very laid back, very chill music. It's the opposite of Lupe Fiasco,
Right.
but like two different things on the spectrum. Then you have somebody like Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, who, if you listen to his Camp album, it is very much like him talking about, it's kind of the same things I was talking about, where like he is this dude who is obviously black, right? He's a rapper, but he's rapping about how much people don't consider him legitimate because he doesn't necessarily quote unquote act black, or he does certain things creatively, or he does that, and like he's talking about his insecurities, talking about his own personal trials, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there are just very diverse things being said in the genre of rap, and they're very moldable in the way that you can say them, and they all do fit in this genre of rap, which is awesome. And so
if people wanted to hear you talk about rap even more, where might they be able to do that, Blessing?
I have a podcast that comes out on the last Wednesday of every month called Super Throne Watch. You can look that up on iTunes. That's our hip hop podcast on OKBeats.com. So hit up OKBeats.com, look up Super Throne Watch, or just look it up on iTunes, and you'll find it there.
You're being too modest, man. You had a great guest, you had a great show, and it is something that, like, for me, this is okay. So pulling it back to OKBeats, this is one of the things that I absolutely love. In addition to all the other things that I've been talking about today, you guys have an amazing way of pulling people in to a topic or a genre or something like that where they maybe not completely invested in it. And what I mean by that is this show, I've listened to the first episode, we'll get to that in a second, but A+ anime was like I am the most like casual, I'm on the outside of anime, but I appreciate it, and I watch Dragon Ball. I feel like this is like I don't hate anime, I've watched Dragon Ball. Like, I'm not racist,
Mm-hmm.
I've got a black friend.
Mm-hmm.
So, but A+ anime brings me in, and it's like it introduces me to this world in a way that I want to get more into it, and I love doing a deep dive into this stuff, because that's how I learned when I first got into PC gaming. I didn't know anything about it. I got a subscription to PC Gamer magazine. Magazines are these things that they printed on paper and delivered to your house back in the day.
That's interesting.
And I just sort of like dove in. So A+ anime is the first thing, and then this new podcast as well. You had a great guest. This is for people who just even appreciate music. Like, it hit me. I wanted to tweet at you. I was driving, so I couldn't really even do it. But it hit me about a third of the way into the episode. I'm like, I don't need to know anything about rap to appreciate this podcast.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so who did you have on the show, and how do you manage to like do that all the time? You guys have a really nice way of inviting people in and then talking about things in a really deep way. Yeah,
so like our first guest for the first episode, which is like the only episode that's out right now, is Cool Greg Geddes from Kind of Funny. And we absolutely, man, that was an awesome episode to have, because Cool Greg is such a wild dude. Like, he's so awesome, and he's so like he's very expressive, and he's very he doesn't hold back, which I absolutely love about him.
What did you call him? Did you call him like the most legitimate, or he's just, I don't know. I can't remember how you described him. It was outside of the show. I don't know. Sorry.
I forget. But yeah, dude is legit. And we just I think that was the one where we follow each other on Twitter, and I think he just wanted. I think he approached us, and was like, "Yo, I just want to let me talk about rap with you guys." Like, that was one where he wanted to come on, and we didn't have to invite him. And so yeah, we were like, "Oh, dude, of course we'll have you on." Mm-hmm. And so yeah, like, we were able to like. That was an awesome one. Tim Geddes we had on our Super Mario spoiler cast from our New Donk City radio podcast.
Is that your pinned post, or is that for OKBeats? I can't remember.
That might be both.
That really easy.
Yeah, people can find that on my Twitter at the top. If it's not on mine, then it's definitely on the OKBeats one. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we did a whole podcast with Tim Geddes. That was just a Mario Odyssey spoiler cast, which is really fun. that one, I wasn't even expecting him to say yes. I just DM'd him, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to be on this podcast?" And he was like, "Yeah, man, let's do it."
Oh, I love it.
And yeah, like, I had the benefit of like Tim kind of knowing who I am from like my activities in the Kind of Funny Facebook group and meeting him at PAX and all this stuff. And so like, I think he knew me enough where he was like, "Yeah, for sure, I'll do that. he'll come through, and so
yeah, and sending him gifts and stalking him and sending all sorts of different pictures and all that kind of stuff. Man,
I did send him a gift.
Did you really?
After we did the podcast, we sent him an OKB shirt.
Oh man,
just like a thank you.
I'm not surprised. You guys are class acts all the way through. Blessing, I feel like I could talk to you for the next 8 hours. We could do an 8-hour stream just together, but I won't I won't make you do that. The last time I want to draw people's attention to the last time you were on the show. I wish I remember what the episode it was, but we talked about your entire your own origin story. We talked about you living overseas in Nigeria, and you have a fascinating story. So if you guys have not heard that already, that's part A of the conversation. This is part B. I hope we have C, D, E, and F on all the way to double Z, because I say Z because I'm a weird Canadian. So I hope we continue this on. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Thank you so much, man. Right at the end here, why don't you let everybody know where they can find you, and we'll close things out that way, dude.
Yeah, for sure. You can find me on Twitter at Blessing Jr. That is at Blessing Jr. And that's me on Instagram and other social media platforms also. But you can especially find me on okbeast.com doing podcasts, writing articles, and making videos for youtube.com/okbeast. And so subscribe. I don't know if we're at 800 yet, but still subscribe. Get us to 1,000. That's what we're trying to hit. We work very hard on those video essays, so check that out. Watch them. If you like them, leave a like. If you don't like them, leave a comment. Let us know what we can do better. And we'll take those into account. So thank you.
Dude, I will be giving you guys a shout out for the rest of the day, for the rest of this stream. We're going to get you, by the time this launches on iTunes on Monday, you will be there and you will be well on your way to 1,000. I wish you guys all the success in the world. And thank you so much for being here, man. This is amazing.
Thank you, dude. I really appreciate it. This is fun.
We made it, you guys. It's now going on 1:45 recording this. I want to make sure I get this episode out to you. Sorry for the trouble at the beginning. I'm glad I caught it by this time. And thank you to Blessing. Wow, what a bunch of patience I've really had to ask of everybody this weekend. And I'm really grateful that you were just here with me the whole time. Thank you for listening and subscribing. We're going to get through this together. I promise you guys. It's one of those, I think I've been really waiting for a moment like this to test. Am I actually feeling better? And I feel like I am. This is something that may have ruined me if I were in a darker place, but I'm surrounded by people like Rybo to help me out, and I'm surrounded by people who supported me all weekend. And thank you guys for your understanding and your support. We will push on. I will clean up this mess. I actually have my microphone plugged in now for this outro, so good stuff. We can always just push on and rise above, as El Capitan would say, my good friend Ray Osorio. Remember, you guys, you can follow me on Twitter at Sean Capri. It's Sean like Connor, Capri like the pants. Don't forget to follow Blessing. I'm sure you already are. But Blessing JR, he's at OK Beast. All the amazing stuff. I wanted to get OK Beast music to intro there, but I figured some pretty heavy, I don't know, is that EDM or I don't even know, Donkey Kong 64, Mad Jack's Drop OC Remix from OCRemix.org is where you guys should just go all the time. It'll brighten your day, I promise you. Just listen to some good old remixes. I listened to it with Lincoln. We were listening to a Legend of Zelda album for bath time today, in case you were wondering. I also do If You're on Nintendo, you might know. It's going to go on iTunes and Google Play on Wednesday of this week. Same feed. You can go back to your old If We Ran Nintendo feed, and it's back. New format. It's guests. If you want to be on that show, you can tweet at me. I just like doing guests. I like talking to people that I never get a chance to sit down with. So that's If We Ran Nintendo, and I also do the Xbox Drive with Dave Moore, of course. That's pretty much, I don't have a whole lot more to say to you guys. So thank you for being here. Thank you to our artists, Gary Gray and Adam Leonard. And thank you to Adam as well for sending all the stuff over for If We Ran Nintendo and making it look great, even though I wasn't able to use it. I had to fire up a shambles of a show on my laptop today. It's going to be amazing next week, I promise. I'm just going to get this episode out, so no free episode or no free game. Otherwise, this is episode 132. It's a Patreon-powered bonus episode. Thanks to our patrons at patreon.com/makeusbetter. I'm going to be back next week. I hope you're there too. Now it's time for Patrick Stewart at the drive-thru.
Hello, I'm Patrick Stewart, star of TV's Star Trek: The Next Generation, and the host of the documentary series MGM, When the Lion Roars.
Okay, that's fine, sir. Can I take your order?
Yes, you can.
And what is your order, sir?
I'll have a quarter pounder with cheese and a side order of fries
Would you like
and a fillet. Oh, fish.
Would you like a cold drink with that, sir?
Yes, yes. For the sake of the future of all mankind, I will have a small Sprite.
Okay, sir, that's $5.20. Could you proceed to the first window?
The first window. The first portal to a new dimension. One greater, one more wondrous than our own.
No, just the first window of the drive-thru, please, sir.
Yes, then so it is that I proceed to this window of which you speak.
Thank you, sir.
Approaching warp speed.
What the f***? Mate, did you just drive into the back of me?
Yes, it is so.
Mate, are you some kind of f***ing comedian?
I am Patrick Stewart.
Mate, get out of the f***ing car.
And so, with heavy heart, I hereby withdraw from the vehicle.
Mate, look what you done to my f***ing Duco.
You accuse me.
Mate, f***ing I do. Here's your order, sir.
What manner of burger is this? And these slivers of potato extract?
Hey, Chrome Dome, are you gonna f***ing pay for my car or not, mate?
I am under attack. I must reason with this.
Mate, you are talking out your f***ing ass.
And so it is that I bid you and your people farewell.
What a f***ing dead shit.